Level Up Con has been dropping tons of Helluva Boss exclusives and previews, so today we're going to talk about the latest preview, which is a music sequence from the upcoming episode of Helluva Boss, Full Moon. My name is Deepcut, demons call me ImpCut, subscribe for more Helluva Boss theories and updates, and let's dive into what we know. We've known for a while now that the new episode is of course called Full Moon, which has special significance to Stolas and Blitz. The Full Moon is the night where Stolas performs a ritual using his grimoire where he opens a portal to involve the power of the full moon of our planet Earth. This ritual requires Blitz to bring the grimoire to Stolas, guaranteeing that they have a night together before Stolas performs the ritual and gives the book back to Blitz so he can continue his business. With this episode, we'll get more than just a quick glimpse into what these nights entail, such as we saw in Season 1, Episode 5, but of course the stakes are way higher this time. The episode will undoubtedly begin with the musical number that was showcased at the convention, which involves both Blitz and Stolas singing about the night to come. This sets up the plot we will see in the episode involving Stolas' drama with Blitz, but fans lost their mind over the parts that Blitz sang. Stolas is very openly into Blitz, so much so that his own daughter thinks that Stolas loves Blitz but doesn't love her. Blitz, on the other hand, started out seeming completely uninterested in Stolas, but over time that has clearly changed. This started with episode 7 of season 1, where Blitz gets upset with Stolas, not because of Stolas himself, but because of Osmodius and Fizz, who make it out like Stolas is just using Blitz essentially. This seemed to hurt Blitz really hard because even though he had invited Stolas out just so he could mess with Moxie and Millie, it was a public spectacle that seemed to call back to something that happened to him a long time ago. In the episode Oops, Blitz spills his emotions out to Fizz, insisting that Osmodius can't really love Fizz because royal elites could never love lowly imps, only using them before throwing them away. Blitz is clearly talking about his own insecurities here, but he has such limited experience with Stolas really being over the top in love and clearly showing affection to Blitz before their arrangement began, as we saw in flashbacks. While Blitz could still see himself as being used by Stolas ultimately, he decides to stay and sleep with Stolas instead of just taking the grimoire, because Stolas does make a big deal out of how much Blitz has meant to him in the back of his mind all these years that they'd been apart. All of this says to me that Blitz's real issue has to come from a past experience he had, with the show mostly being about piling more and more prior relationships into Blitz's life to explore how they always fall apart, whether it's with friends, family, or romance. In the trailer we received for the remainder of Season 2, for instance, Blitz says this.
You think you can do this every time.
Notice how Blitz said every time, as if this exact thing has happened to him before, maybe even more than once. And the new music video seems to emphasize this idea even more. It's hard to hear everything being said with the audience screaming, and by the time this video is up, a clean version might be released on VivziePop's channel, but for now, it's easy to hear that Blitz is actually excited for his time with Stolas, but also nervous. While Stolas is singing about how unfair the arrangement is, Blitz is actually singing about how perfect it is for him, though he does make it clear that he is scared of Stolas and his questions. Talking about his feelings may have actually been what's sabotaging Stolas all this time, it would seem, as playing hard to get is part of what Blitz likes. When people put purposeful space between themselves and Blitz, it can feel safe to remain as close as you are in other ways. The arrangement gives Blitz the feeling that he is truly wanted, more so than the word Stolas says, as Blitz's potential ex likely doted on him in the same way, and thus the words feel meaningless. Their arrangement, however, lets Blitz know how much Stolas wants him, as twisted as it is, because of how little choice Blitz has in it. Stolas has decided he likes Blitz so much that he needs Blitz in his life, even if Blitz keeps trying to leave it. This is a pretty dark arrangement, but in this cartoon fantasy scenario, it more so reflects the real human desire we have to feel chased. It's not that Blitz was playing hard to get himself, he seemed to have genuine disinterest in Stolas, but even after what happened at Ozzy's, Blitz is still feeling more excited over time about his nights with Stolas, and things have clearly changed. Even back in episode 5 of season 1, we saw that Blitz was relaxing enough with Stolas to enjoy the idea of taking a trip with him when they couldn't work anyways, and from some of the bonus little pictures that we used to get on the Instagrams, we can see that the crew imagines the characters as having some pretty sweet nights together, such as them watching a movie in one picture, or Blitz just sneaking in to seduce Stolas in another. Blitz leans heavily into the sexual aspect of their dynamic in this song, not just because he enjoys it, which he definitely seems to now, but because it seems to help him get out of talking to Stolas about the actual nature of their relationship. Now, while Blitz does sing about how it is a great arrangement, he also sings about how he always gets into complicated situations, once again referencing a potential royal ex, and the song itself is about how ultimately conflicted he is, not because he doesn't want the arrangement, but because he seems to be fearing that he's going to lose it. This could be a blow to his life as a whole, which would stress him out, with his business falling apart if Stolas is as vile as he is imagining in his head. But even with the Osmodian crystal that we know Stolas has prepared for Blitz so he doesn't have to worry about that, it will still be a huge emotional blow to him as well. Stolas thinks he's trapped Blitz in a cage, and in reality he has. It is this arrangement that's made Blitz so scared, but it's also achieved what Stolas had hoped, making Blitz actually enjoy their time together. It's what a lot of people would call a controversial dynamic, very Beauty and the Beast, but imagine if Belle, after falling in love with Beast, became jittery because she now feared that the Beast would just abandon her one day. And that is essentially why Stolas is letting Blitz go, because he realized he had done something not right, and the fallout sounds like it's gonna be epic. As we heard earlier, Blitz gets upset at the breakup in the trailer, insisting that people like Stolas do this every time. He sees Stolas ending the arrangement as not actually wanting to see him every month anymore. And this is only going to be one part of the episode, it seems. The full moon is not just the night of carnal escapades for Stolas and Blitz, but it's also the night of a special ritual performed by the Ars Goetia. We don't know exactly how all these scenes connect, but we do see Andrealphus, Stella's brother, as well as a new demon named Vasago, talking while amongst other demons who are presumably members of the Ars Goetia. Vasago is asking where Stolas is and insists they must summon him. While this could be for some other episode, it would make sense that it would connect to full moon, with this being the ceremony that Stolas uses his grimoire for. When Stolas doesn't show up on his own, however, it seems that Vasago does in fact summon him, and somehow Blitz ends up there as well, mistakenly being pulled into the portal with him perhaps. Whatever goes down there doesn't seem good, and it seems to culminate with Stolas being attacked and Blitz defending him, as we can see him defending Stolas in this icy area, which seems to continue from the shot we see of Andrealphus rising in an icy area as well. Andrealphus is likely hosting this event at his icy castle that we saw in previous episodes, with Andrealphus being noted in the Ars Goetia as also having a knack for astrology like Stolas. The full moon ritual may very well be something they perform together each month as part of their Goetia duties, perhaps with the rest of the members there. I imagine when summoning Stolas that they would also get Blitz there by accident, and Andrealphus would see Stolas with the imp that he cheated on Stella with. This would lead to an escalation, as it's a public embarrassment in front of the rest of the Goetia, and it may even come to light that Stolas had given his grimoire to Blitz, which should get them both in huge trouble. Whatever happens, it does seem like Blitz and Stolas find a happy-ish ending, as we can see Stolas in a new outfit later in the trailer, a relaxing shirt, while talking to Blitz rather pleasantly, which I have to imagine happens after these full moon events. This is just one of the 5 episodes coming out, however, and we have plenty more videos coming out to talk about each of them and what we know so far, so hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more updates, and let me know your theories for the new full moon episode in the comments down below. See you guys next time.